Hey guys, what's up? It's the Brian here. It's been a while since I made a video, and it'll probably be a while before I make another one. I've been super busy. My life is changing in good ways. This is something that I wanted to do for a while. I've been trying to figure out the best way to go about doing it. My tiny desk here, my phone. But let's build a deck together. And the way I like to build my EDH Commander decks is to start with one of these pre-made decks. And considering one of my favorite games was made into Magic cards, I definitely bought this. This Commander deck here is pretty much pre-built to be used right out of the box. Be nice to have a little chill things, prepping to move. I'm gonna be going out to California for work, and I'm not gonna have time to do anything fun for a while. So the Commander decks are cool because they come with this here. It just has 2 cards in it, so we'll see how lucky or unlucky we get. Damn, this one looks like it actually got like a little bent. See what shape the cards are in. I actually opened a couple collector booster packs. They're like $100 each because I waited to buy them because I thought $70 was too much, and they definitely didn't go down. They only went up. So this set seems to be pretty pretty popular. People like it, and I don't blame them. I really like it too. So you get a cool little cloud pop out and a cool little Tifa one. Yay, was some, collectible cardboard stuff. And, here's a Heidelin. Why not? I don't know what you really use those for. They give you a lot of this kind of stuff. Like little pop out 1/1 counters, or here's 1/1 counters. Here's ones, or maybe they're energy, or I don't know. I throw a lot of this stuff away. So I get the deck, right? And I also get a color that I want. Super zoomed in, but it's the only really way I'm gonna be able to like share the cards with you as I go through them and be able to read them. So what I like to do is I like to play this game of earn the sleeve, right? This is pre-made. Cloud obviously earns a sleeve. He's gonna be in there. And go through these cards. And we're gonna see we're gonna see if the cards are worth keeping in the deck or not. I haven't been doing it recently, but I built decks, quite a few decks. I've lost more Magic cards than I care to comment further about. It's just kind of one of the pitfalls of loving material items. You can lose them, and then you gotta get over that if you have an emotional attachment to it. But moving on, we got 102, I think, sleeves here. You get a couple extra ones in these usually. So what is a Commander deck, right? It's a big fat deck. It's like way more than a standard deck. Standard play, I think it's like cheesy these days. Like people will play just like 4 of a bunch of OP cards. It's not really fun to me anymore. Like maybe back when it first came out, like like the late 90s, 2000s when I was first starting to get these things. I did like to play that. There wasn't such a thing as the Commander format. It didn't come out till a little later when, you know, people just invented a new way to play the game. And I think it's super cool. All right. So, let's see if we can get a better view on the cards here. I don't know. The stand is like a cheap one from Walmart. I'm sorry. I'm a working man. I'm not a real YouTuber. But a few fans I do have been complaining I didn't make a video. I felt like I should at least try to make one more before I'm out in the working world for a long time. So when Cloud enters, attach up to one targeted equipment you control to it. Whenever Cloud attacks, draw a card for each equipped attacking creature you control. Then if Cloud has power 7 or greater, create 2 treasure tokens. I'm not super impressed with this version of Cloud. So, you know, he would be, it looks like we have a version of Tifa over here that could be like a substitute commander. We'll take a look at her in a second. Regardless, Cloud gets a sleeve. So in you go, Mr. Cloud, ex-soldier. Up here, the red, green, and white dictates your, what's it called, loyalty, I believe is the word. And that means you can only have spells and mana in your deck, whatever loyalty your commander is. So I'm now restricted to red, green, and white for the color of magic I want to play in this deck. It's one of the many rules. There's like a Tifa martial artist. Your commander has to be a legendary creature as well. So whenever this creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 till the end of turn for each opponent you attacked this combat. That's kind of weird. Whenever one or more creatures you control with power 7 or greater deal combat damage to your player, untap all creatures you control. If it's the first combat phase of your turn, there's an additional combat phase after this phase. Holy, what the hell? Dude, she's like a way better commander than Cloud, in my opinion, right? So, damn, Tifa might actually, because that ability is nuts to have. So your commander is in the command zone at all times. And if any spell or ability or combat damage or whatever causes your commander to go to the graveyard or get exiled or leave play or whatever way there is to get rid of a card from play, they instead go to the command zone. And every time they go back to the command zone, this number that's a 1 increases by 2. So the first time, you know, she's in the command zone, you can summon her for this 4 mana here. Converted mana cost 4. You know, and if she got killed or exiled or something, she'd go to the command zone and you'd have to summon her for 3 colorless mana and 1 of each of your mana sources of color. So then it would be like 6. And then it goes up 2 each time, so 8, 10, etc., etc. So it makes the commander that you choose really powerful and kind of important, because, you know, for one, you're always going to have the ability come into play quickly. This ability here doesn't really, like, I mean, when he enters, attach 1 target equipment to it, so we'll see some equipments, I'm sure, in this deck. And we'll see probably some Zerg type stuff going on that's like a red and white thing, and green too. I actually really like green mana. Anyway, she gets a sleeve. I like her. So we're gonna start with all the rares, which is cool. Sid, Free Flyer Pilot. Equipment and vehicle spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Wow, that's freaking awesome for equipment. And he only costs 2 mana. He's a 2/2. Any 2/2 creature for 2 mana is a pretty good deal, and with something like that, dang. Return target equipment or vehicle card from your graveyard to your hand. During your turn, Sid has flying. Mr. Dragoon here. That's kind of a cool copy of Sid there. I'm so glad about this deck. Anyway, he gets a sleeve. Cloud's Limit Break. That's crazy. I pulled so many packs and I never once got this card. But I finally got it in the dang pre-made deck here. Cross Slash, Blade Beam. Oh, you know what? Maybe I did actually. I think I actually did. The only difference is the symbol, you know? The symbol is going to be a little different. I think I did actually pull this. We'll see. I have all my rares over here. We're going to do that phase next, okay? There's the next phase of my deck building scheme, because we're going to go through. There's going to be a bunch of rares, the powerful cards, you know, that are actually good. This one's pretty good, you know, because you cast it for 2, for 0 additional mana, you can destroy target tap creature. For 1 additional mana, you can destroy any number of target tap creatures with different controllers. So that could be pretty powerful in certain situations, you know. And then we have Omni Slash for 4 extra mana, destroy all tapped creatures. Pretty good card. And it's Cloud's Limit Break. Gotta keep them in the deck. I think it earns a sleeve. I think it's a cool card. All right, we got Elena, Turk Recruit, legendary creature, human assassin. All right, when Elena enters, return target non-assassin historic card from your graveyard to your hand. That's a new tag for me. I've never seen that before. So what's nice is when you're introduced to a new tag in this game, it's usually explained in parentheses. So artifacts, legendaries, and sagas are historic. So further on down the line, that's new. Probably new to this set, or maybe like what's this called? Universes Beyond, or whatever this actually technically is. So after a while in the prints, that explanation goes away. They just assume that you should know it, or you can just go online and like look at what it actually means. So whenever you cast a historic spell, put a 1/1 counter on Elena, and she starts as a 1/4 for 3 mana, which I think is pretty good. So now, like when you cast her, she's already been cast, so you don't get the bonus from casting her. But any other legendaries after artifacts or sagas after that, which they're a saga, I think are the summons, which I think is pretty cool. We'll take a look at that. I'm sure there should be a good one. She gets one. She gets to come in for now. Final Fantasy 7 girl. Another Shinra dude here. Heidegger. Shinra executive. These Shinra folks are bad guys. So legendary creature, human soldier. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +X+0 till end of turn, where X is the number of soldiers you control. See, Zerg stuff right here. That's what I was talking about. He's white, you know what I mean? At the beginning of your end step, create a number of 1/1 white soldier creature tokens equal to the number of opponents you control, more creatures than you. And so here we got Shinra over here being white. I think there's like an Aerith card that's black. I don't know. It's kind of funny stuff that they did with this. But Heli Trooper, he's a rare. All right. So we got 2 mana for a 1/2 flying, which is pretty good. I'll say that. Whenever this creature attacks, another targeting attacking creature gains flying until end of turn. Also really good. Powerful there, I'd say. Equip abilities you activate that target this creature cost 2 less to activate. Oh, sounds like the local crackheads walking down the street. I don't know if you guys picking that up, but I noticed this phone mic is extremely sensitive, so I do apologize for all that trash crackling sound that probably was really loud. So, you know, I'll look into getting better equipment, you know, when I get settled into my new routine. But anyway, back to the deck building with Brian. All right, soldier military program. So we're getting through our white cards here. So this is an enchantment. This would be like, it's known as a permanent, right? So this is something that's gonna go out after you summon it. It's gonna go out and it's gonna stay out into the field pretty much forever until it can be dealt with like a disenchant type of spell or what have you, right? There's several ways to deal with enchantments, but they don't experience summoning sickness, so they go into effect right away. So you pay 3 mana, you know, on my turn I'll pay 3 mana and this enchantment goes into effect, and let's see what it does. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose one. If you control a commander, you may choose both instead. All right, so at the beginning of your combat on your turn, choose one. Create a 1/1 white soldier creature. Oh, so this is a spawner, and then put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 soldiers you control. So it's a spawner and a buffer. Buffs up your soldiers that you think, and you know it synergizes with that Shinra dude. So that's pretty good. I guess we got some soldier stuff going on here. It's kind of cool, you know, because soldier, yeah, get it. We got the soldier synergy in the Final Fantasy VII deck. Ultimate Magic Holy, freaking super cool spell. One of the most powerful spells in the game, besides for maybe like Ultima. Let's see, we got 3 mana for the instant. Permanents you control gain indestructible until end of turn. If the spell was cast from exile, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you this turn. Foretell, during your turn, you may pay 2 and exile this card from your hand face down. Cast it on a later turn for its foretell cost. So basically you get to use this, interesting. I don't know exactly the rules about this foretell thing, but I wonder if that's like Yu-Gi-Oh, where it's like, you know, I put this face down as a trap card or whatever, right? I put this face down, you don't know what it is, but I can cast it because I know what it is, right? And then you can flip it over. But then my question also, right? It's on the you exile it. Okay, so you exile it face down. So which basically, to my understanding, means that it's not targetable by anything. So it's face down over there taunting them, like, oh, he's got that card face down. What is it? What does it do? So that's kind of cool because it's like a mind game type of spell that you can do. And it's also like ultimate protection, right? They got like, if they got like some kind of board wipe that's gonna wipe out your army or your mana or your enchantments or you or something, you'd be like, oh, I saved myself. I like this. This is a good card on a couple levels, right? I like that one. Get in the sleeve. There you go. Avalanche of Sector 7. There you got them all there. They look just like them the dude did in the game. You know, if the game had way better graphics, right? So it's funny. It's three of them, but it's a legendary creature, human rebel, like the singular, because it's one card, I guess. You know, right? Menace. I forgot what that does. It's something about battling or something. I could look it up. I haven't actually played Magic in a long time. This set actually really got me back into it. So forgive me, I'm not the most knowledgeable, but I'm like an old school Magic junkie, and getting back into it for my basically my 3rd run of collecting and stuff. And I'm actually like, you know, put myself out on YouTube a little bit, sharing this stuff too. So, you know, whatever, it's cool. It's the next chapter of my life. It's what I'm doing. Here we got Menace. Yeah, whatever that means. I think it's like, you know, they don't tap after attacking or something like that. It's something cool related to battle. I do kind of remember that. So anyway, avalanche of Sector 7's power is equal to the number of artifacts your opponents control. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of an artifact they control, avalanche sector deals 1 damage to that player. All right, so so this card, I'll tell you what. Okay, so this card gets a sleeve for now. I don't think it's like that powerful, and I think there's like other, especially red magic. There's other ways that I like to use red magic, but this does kind of fit the MO of control, like artifact control, right? Discourages people from putting out too many artifacts, and in the event that somebody has like an artifact creature kind of deck where they're just, all they're doing is summoning artifacts, and matter of fact there's artifact lands, something like this could become like a pain in their butt, right? So it gets a sleeve for now and it goes in this other pile. I'll make 2 piles. Cards, matter of fact, couple of these cards, I'm a little rusty, so I haven't built an actual deck in a while. Excuse me. All right, Kate Sith, fortune teller, main character here. So it's cool to see him, Mr. Kate Sith. Legendary artifact creature. This is what I was talking about right there. So he counts as an artifact, but he's on my team, so that wouldn't help Mr. Avalanche Sector 7. Now, lucky slots. At the beginning of combat on your turn, scry 1, then exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn when you exile a card in this way. Target creature you control gets +X +0 until end of turn, where X is that card's mana value. Okay, I just like had a brain fart when I was reading that and really understand what I was reading. At the beginning of combat on your turn, scry 1, which means you look at the top of your library. Then exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. When you exile a card this way, target creature you control, you may play it. Okay, so when you exile a card this way, target creature you control gets +X +0 until end of turn, where X is that card's mana value. Okay, this is the mana value. So let's do an example, right? We got this card here, which is 3. So if you do it to this one, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. When you exile a card this way. So at the beginning of combat of your turn. This is interesting. This is cool because, I will say it's cool because it allows you to get into your library again after your draw step. So, you know, you can use your combat turn to scry 1. So it's kind of interesting for red magic. So Mr. Kate Sith, you get a sleeve, your interesting card. You sure befuddled me with all that text. Oh, here we got a rare summon. Kujata Saga Ox. These what, yeah, the summons are sagas for that one chick that did Saga Synergy. So, oh, those little ones are lore counters. Those little pop out 1 things are lore counters for this saga type of thing. Okay, so as the saga enters and after your draw step, add a lore counter. Sacrifice after 3. So it's 6 mana. It costs a lot of mana. Okay, it does. So the first turn you get to do lightning. This creature deals 3 damage to each of up to 2 target creatures. So he comes out, he does his lightning move. He's also a trample haste enchantment creature, Saga Ox, a 7/5. So he's a powerful beast. But keep in mind, like, right, after the 3rd turn, he's temporary. So it's kind of cool, right? It's definitely like a summon. I think that's so cool. Like, the summons are cool. I wish the art was more featured in this card, but I don't know how else they would really do this with this much, you know, text. It is what it is. You know, the art is cool, but it's small. So we got Ice as the second one. Up to 3 target creatures can't block this turn. And Fire. Discard a card. then draw 2 cards. When you discard a card this way, this creature deals damage equal to that card's mana value to each opponent. Wow, that could be really devastating, right? Pretty powerful, I would say. Pretty powerful. I've never seen him. I haven't seen him yet, so it's cool to have one. He's getting a sleeve. Powerful, cool red spell. All right. Ooh, we have Ultimate Magic Meteor. Awesome spell. Love it. Love to see it. We get 6 mana again, so we're getting into our high mana. These are like mid-late game spells, you know, when you're trying to win the game. So it's a sorcery, means you can only cast it on your turn. So Ultimate Magic Meteor deals 7 damage to each creature. If the spell was cast from exile, for each opponent, choose an artifact or land that player controls. Destroy chosen permanents. Wow. It's like a semi-board wipe. It's kind of cool because also it you can foretell it, right? Okay, and it becomes more powerful. So during your turn, you may pay 2 colorless mana, exile this card from your hand face down, cast it on a later turn for its foretell cast. So we got, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh style stuff going on with the flippins. Pay some mana to you know, screw around with their head and be like, what you got behind that card? What is it? Other cards do that too, I know, but these are pretty powerful spells. Anyway, gets a sleeve. Vincent coming up next. Badass character. Love his story arc. Super cool character. So here we have the Vengeful Atoner version. Legendary Assassin, Menace. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to your player, put a 1/1 counter on Vincent. That's really cool. Chaos, whenever Vincent deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent if Vincent's power is 7 or greater. Okay, so he's like got some it deals that much damage to each other opponent. See, that's the type of stuff you'll see in these EDH decks, right? Because you can have 4 other opponents, excuse me. You can have a 5-person match. Each person's got 100 cards, you know, and they can last forever sometimes. Or they can be kind of quick, you know, somebody gets some good synergy going on with their deck. We have Yuffie, so we're seeing all the main characters come out in this deck, which I think is really nice, just collectible. Getting all the main characters, that's really cool. So here she is, a ninja with ninjutsu. Ninjutsu is return an unblocked attacker you control to hand. Put this card onto the battlefield from your hand tapped and attacking. All right, that's freaking interesting. So when Yuffie enters, gain control of target non-creature artifact for as long as you control Yuffie. Then you may attach an equipment you control to Yuffie. Bro, she's a freaking thief. Oh, bro. It's so funny. That's definitely Yuffie, right? She's a thief. That's how you end up meeting her. She like steals your material or something. I forget. It's been so long. Oh, just revealed how much of a true fan I am of this, right? Oh, man. Burnt. Buchenhausen, Wise Elder. I don't remember this dude. Oh, wait, you know, I think I do. Wait. He's got reach, okay? Which means he's like big and tall. He can attack flying. Reach means he can defend flying. Like only other creatures with flying can do damage, combat damage to flying creatures, and this reach allows him to do that. So at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a creature with power 7 or greater, draw a card. Freaking awesome. This dude only costs 2 mana. That's crazy for a 1/3. And he has add 1 mana of any color. What the heck? Crazy card right there. Super good. Definitely getting a sleeve. All right, buddy. Dude, I love green spells like this. He's a human shaman though. If he was an elf, that would be crazy, but I don't think we're gonna see any elf cards in Final Fantasy VII. but that would be nuts. He would still be good in elf deck, in my opinion. Anyway, here we go. Lifestream's Blessing. Here we got the, you know, signature high cost of green magic. That's 6. Draw X cards, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. As you cast a spell, if the spell was cast from exile, you gain twice X life. All right, very good. So another foretelling. So we can cast that face down, and then, you know, save it for the time where we have a lot of creatures, or a strong creature, and then gain twice that much life and draw that much cards, which will totally put you in a good spot, no matter what. Having a lot of cards in your hand isn't always great, but it can be great, especially if you have a lot of mana to cast them all. I like that card. It's getting a sleeve. Professor Hojo, this freaking guy. Everybody hates him, right? We all hate Hojo. So, legendary creature, human scientist. The first activated ability you activate during your turn that targets a creature you control costs 2 less to activate. Okay, that's all right. I mean, okay. Whenever one or more creatures you control become the target of an activated ability, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Yeah, it's important they put those types of limits on stuff like this, because it could be like there do exist some like infinite looping mechanics, which sometimes they get banned from play according to rules. But you know, if you're just playing house rules, you can use these just like super OP infinite, like tap card, untap card, add +1/+1 to infinity. Be like, I have a 3 billion creature and I attack you. He's got trample. Here's summoning materia. So I'm just gonna show y'all something out of it. I remember I pulled something over here, right? Let's see if I can find it real quick. Here it is. Let me see one more. Yeah, okay, here it is. Actually, I think I do like this card. I'm gonna keep it in this deck, but instead of this version, I'm gonna use this version that I pulled. It's a foil borderless version of it. Artifact equipment, and we'll give it a read, right? Let's see what it says. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. I love that stuff, dude. I absolutely love that ability. As long as this equipment is attached to a creature, you may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Also love that ability to be able to cast spells from the top of your library at any time. Super good, and it makes your creature stronger and able to be tapped for green mana. And it's pretty cheap, right? It only costs 3, equipped for 2. Awesome card. So I'll take it out of this sleeve and it's going in the deck, right? I just remember I pulled that. I think I actually pulled this out of a collector booster to get like 10 rares in the booster pack sometimes. And that was one of them. Anyway, I'll go back over here, my rare pile. Okay, so Aerith. Oh, I love her. So we have Aerith, the Last Ancient. She's on the box. I knew I was gonna get her, but I'm still excited to see her, right? She's green and white girl, and she has lifelink, which is super cool. It means combat damage she does restores your life. So raise at the beginning of your end step. If you gained life this turn, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If you gained 7 or more life this turn, return that card to the battlefield instead. Super freaking awesome. Love her. Going in the deck. She would have been staying anyway, just because of things. All right, Barrett's right here. He was kind of my least favorite, but you know, he's grown on me. All right, Barrett's just he's Barrett, okay? He's got a gun for an arm, and he means business, right? and he talks a lot of smack to you as the main character is Cloud. So, you know, I have a love-hate relationship with him. I think he's got a good heart, but he's freaking a big doofus. All right, he's got reach, which makes sense because he's got a gun arm. And his ability is avalanche, exclamation point. Whenever an enchantment you control enters, create a 2/2 red rebel creature token. All right, that's cool. I think that's all right. That's, you know, he's at the beginning of combat on your turn, attach up to one target equipment you control to target rebel you control. All right, you know, he's got some, I don't know, man. He'll get a sleeve for now, okay? And he's going in the out, like, look, I'm not a fan of Avalanche too much, right? Okay, moving on. Red the 13th, Proud Warrior. I like him. I like using him in the game. He's an interesting, you know, everyone else is a human. He's like a dog with a fire tail. And he talks. So he's pretty cool to me. Anyway, Vigilance and Trample. Vigilance is the one where he attacking doesn't make him tap. I don't know what Menace is. It's something else. They all mean different things. Like, right, Trample means that combat damage travels through blocking creatures. Other modified creatures you control have Vigilance and Trample. Equipment R's you control and counters are modifications. Okay, cool. Cosmo Memory. When Red 13 enters, return target aura or equipment card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, that's cool. Pretty cool. Like somebody destroyed your cool. Wow, we only have one so far that I've seen that I liked. Ooh, look, Sephiroth, Fallen Hero. That's cool that they got him a version that could be in this. I didn't think I was gonna get to see Sephiroth out of here. I like Sephiroth. He's troubled. He's got issues. He's got mom issues. You know, Genova cells. Whenever Sephiroth attacks, you may put a cell counter on target creature until end of turn. Each modified creature you control has base power and toughness 7/5. Okay, equipment R's you control and counters are modifications. So, so you may put a cell counter on target creature until the end of turn. Each modified creature you control. What the hell? Sacrifice a modified creature. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Each modified creature you control has base power and toughness 7/5. What the hell, bro? Dude, so he like, whenever Sephiroth attacks, you may put a cell counter on target creature. All right, so whenever he attacks, he modifies another creature, turning them into a 7/5 base power toughness. And then if you have any other auras, equipments, or counters modifying anything else, they also become 7/5s, even if they're 1/1s. All right, Sephiroth gets to stay in the deck because that's like freaking OP. It's magic, man. Freaking baffles me sometimes with the stuff they think of. So here we have an equipment. It's Yuffie's Conformer Shuriken. All right, equipped creature has, whenever this creature attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. If that creature has greater power than this creature, put a number of 1/1 counters on this creature equal to the difference. All right, that was a lot. I don't want to think about that too much. It's just an artifact that is going in the deck. Here's Wrecking Ball arm. And this one, this one Barrett's deals. Equipped creature has base power and toughness 7/7 and can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Damn. And look, it only costs 2. Dang. Look, equip legendary creature for 3 only. Normally equipped for 7 mana. So that's kind of the way equipment works. You know, it's an artifact. It goes out on the field. Doesn't have summoning sickness because it's an artifact, so you can equip it right away. and then it buffs your creature. But then, you know, also if you have something like Mr. Sephiroth over there, this deck does some crazy things. I see the appeal in it. Austere Command. Choose 2, destroy all artifacts, destroy all enchantments, destroy all creatures of mana value 3 or less, destroy all creatures of mana value 4 or greater. This is cool. It's like kind of like a nerfed board wipe. But you can definitely do a lot of damage to somebody's field, depending on, you know, what they got. You can make the decision. And another thing is, you can only have one card with this name. So you can't have any more of these austere commands in this deck. That's a rule. All right, we're gonna move on. Bastion Protector. Human Soldier. Commander creatures you control gain 2/2 and have indestructible. What, bro? And he's a soldier. Of course, he's hanging out with us in the deck. All right, sleeve you up. Go on in the deck, buddy. Welcome to your new home. Bronze Guardian. We got artifact creature. He's a golem with double strike. He's got a star for his attack. Means this creature's power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. Okay. So this is kind of like an artifact deck-ish. And whenever this creature becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless that player pays 2. So to mess around with him, cost more mana. Other artifacts and you control have ward 2. So this is hanging out in the deck. I think it's pretty good. Costs 5 mana, but we'll talk about that a little later. See how I feel. I'm already getting tired. I'm so exhausted. I've been doing so much. Anyway, this is the only chance I get. I'm going to be flying in the morning. Clever Concealment. Oh, everybody remember this when Cloud wears a dress? Oh, bro. And Tifa tries to go over there with Aerith and like, anyway, if you know, you know. This is funny part of the game. Convoke. Your creatures can help cast the spell. So we got 4. Each creature you tap while casting a spell pays 1 or more mana of that creature's color. Any number of target non-land permanents you control phase out. Treat them as anything attached to them as though they don't exist until your next turn. That's freaking cool. So this is freaking cool. This is an interesting card. So the phase out mechanic, I've seen it like in cards before, like in the past, but nothing like pretty blatant like this. Like any number of target non-land permanents you control phase out. Treat them and anything attached to them as though they don't exist until your next turn. You can do some hocus pocus with that instant, and you can use your you know, if you're low on mana and somebody's about to wipe you out, you can just be like, oh, well, you know, none of that actually exists right now. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it next turn. Get in a sleeve. So we made, you know, Cloud in a dress card pretty OP. Moving on. Pure Steel Paladin. 2 mana. He's a knight. All right. Whenever equipment you control enters, you may draw a card. Freaking awesome. Equipment you control have equip 0 as long as you control 3 or more artifacts with the Metalcraft proc. It's freaking what? Is that even really a Final Fantasy 7 dude? I guess he is. It says Final Fantasy 7, bro. Going in the deck. I would say that is a good artifact synergy. We got some unfinished business here with Mr. Dude from Shinra. The Turks, right? They're the Turks. Reno, I think that's his name. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. What? And then return up to 2 target aura and our equipment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to that creature. What the heck, bro? If the auras can't enchant that creature, they remain in your graveyard. What, bro? Dude, it's 5 mana. Let me get my Sephiroth back out here and start causing trouble again, right? Come on, bro. That's crazy, dude. This one's expensive. We got 8 mana right here. Vanquish the Horde. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Destroy all creatures. So that could be down to 2 mana, right? So that 1 can go to 0. However, it can't pay for the white mana. So Vanquish the Horde can cost up to 2 mana to destroy all creatures. That's all creatures, including your creatures. So you have to be careful with this spell, but it can save your butt in a pickle. Like if you're getting zerged by your own deck that you're playing by yourself because you don't have any friends. Anyway, we're going to Chaos Warp. Right, the owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of their library. If it's a permanent card, they put it onto the battlefield. Chaos Warp. I think this is like a card already. It's just not this card. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of the library. If it's a permanent, they put it onto the battlefield. So you can do that to yourself, or you can do that to somebody else's, like super OP card. Interesting. All right, he's, you know, like this is a good card, but it's not like super good card, but it is a good card. It's a way to deal with like indestructible cards. I'll say that. You got an indestructible causing you a beef. You can also use it to deal with the commander. Of course, anytime the commander enters a library. Well, one thing I think the owner can actually choose to let their commander stay in the library. I think they can do that, but they may have to go into the command zone. Don't quote me on that. I haven't read up on the rules in a long time. Going from years and years ago memories. Hellkite Tyrant. I think this is a boss you gotta fight. So we got 6 mana dragon from Final Fantasy 7. So cool. I love dragon cards in Magic. I just actually got my first little collection that I had when I was a little kid, like these super old cards, right? I actually have them. My brother, he found my bag that he was saving for me, and this is an epic story of my brother getting this collection back for me. But I actually got them back. I might try to like share those cards with you guys at some point. It'll be some time. Forgive me. It'll probably be a couple months at least until I get back into town, because I'm basically leaving all my stuff here. I'm going to work in California for a while. But anyway, so we got Flying Trample. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, gain control of all artifacts that player controls. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 20 or more artifacts, you win the game. Like Mr. Horde Master. I wonder if this deck has 20 artifacts. There's a lot of artifacts. I haven't seen that many. I've seen like 5 or 6. Anyway, Professional Facebreaker. Oh, you know what? I think Mr. Cloud, that synergy works with Cloud because I think those treasure tokens are artifacts. Professional Facebreaker. Menace. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Sacrifice a treasure, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Okay. So you may play it, or it just stays exiled forever. That's the thing about that kind of a thing. But this is a dude, we just saw Mr. Dragon there. This is a dude that also creates more treasures to help you win the game. That's kind of like a cheesy way to win Magic, in my opinion. I'm gonna put him here. I'm gonna put him here. So I'm just thinking about cards that I could possibly replace if I think I find something that's better, you know. We have Decimate, 4 mana. Destroy target artifact, target creature, target enchantment, and target land. I love cards that targets lands like that. They're very rare. You can't cast a spell unless you have legal choices for all its targets. Kind of a little bit of a hitch there, right? They need to have an artifact out into play and an enchantment in play and a creature before you can get that land. But the fact that there are not very many cards that at least I'm aware of, there are not very many, that target the lands because of, we'll see when we get to the lands that are in this, what kind of power we get from our lands. But there are some lands that are like incredible, and it's like, oh man, if I was against that land, I would want to destroy it. Armory Automaton. Yeah, it's the boss. You gotta fight. Whenever this creature enters or attacks, you may attach any number of target equipments to it. Okay. Yeah, control of the equipment doesn't change. So I wonder if like the opponent's equipments go to it too, but then they can because they control it, they can pay the mana to. This is an interesting card. I think that I'm correct in that. That's kind of the way that Magic works, right? Because it says, whenever this creature enters or attacks, you may attach any number of target equipment to it. And then it says in parentheses, right, control of the equipment doesn't change. Now, I do believe, like if you wanted to, I think there are equipments that have negative effects. So you can like cast something, it's like a cursed something or whatever, and you can equip it to somebody else's creature. So I think that's awesome. I think he's gonna stay. I think that's cool. This deck is pretty cool, all right? We got Champion's Helm. It's an equipment. The equipped creature gets +2/+2. As long as equipped creature is a legendary, it has hexproof, which is really strong. You can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. Usually you have like a lot of these commander decks will have these boots. There's a pretty common like reprinted card. I can't remember these boots that allow you to get hexproof. I like it. Conqueror's Flail. Another equipment. We're getting into our equipments. Equipment gets 1/1 for each color among permanents you control. As long as this equipment is attached to a creature, your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Well, how about that? Each color among permanents you control, so it could have +3/+3, potentially, most likely. As long as it's attached to a creature, your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Excellent card. Super cool. So nobody could cast those annoying counter spells on you. Dark Steel Plate, indestructible. Target creature has indestructible. Equip for 2. Pretty, you know, pretty much going in the sleeve. All these are going in the sleeve, right? I haven't seen anything but a rare card in this deck so far. Inspiring Statuary. Non-artifact spells you have cast Improvise. Your artifacts can help cast those spells. Each artifact you tap after you're done activating mana abilities pays for 1. Wow. Non-artifact spells you have, you cast have Improvise. It's an artifact, kind of a utility artifact, I'd say. Gonna hang out right there. Sword of the Animist. Our girl Aerith. Equipped creature gets 1/1. Whenever equipped creature attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card. Put on the battlefield tapped and shuffle. It's interesting. It's a not really powerful artifact, but is actually really good if you got it in the beginning of the game to help you get more mana out on the battlefield. Because usually you can only cast 1 from your hand each turn. But if you have something like this, like on turn, I guess like on turn 3 or something, you could potentially, like if you get this in your starting hand or you draw it second, you could get this out and equipped. Or no, you couldn't, because you would need 4 mana. So well, no. So on turn 3 you could, right? You could get a creature out on turn 1 for 1 mana or something, and then you can get this out on turn 2 for 2 mana. You could equip it to the creature on turn 3 and attack, and then get an extra land out, which like in the beginning, if you're able to do something like that with a card like this, you are very much ahead. Mana, like early mana gain in Magic, is a big deal. It really is. So we're going to keep that in there. Battlefield Forge, here's a land. That's colorless. So alright, so it adds colorless, and then it can be either red or white for 1 damage to you. I'm not really a fan of these. There are some cards that are like this that are ridiculous price cards. They're called like flash lands or something like that. They're like worth hundreds of dollars, and people are so horny for these cards, and they're kind of like this, but they're a little more powerful, right? There'll be something like this land enters tapped unless you pay 2 life or something like that, and it can add like 3 different types of mana, or 2 different types of mana. I'm gonna keep him. I'm gonna keep it in there because it's part of our mana pool. All right, mana pool is going in another. It's going in a separate pile. Okay. We're gonna keep our mana. Excuse me, mana. Yeah, the mana pool. Anyway, so Bonder's Enclave is another land, colorless land. And then it has this other ability, is what I was talking about, right? Draw a card, activate it only if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, but you have to pay 3 to draw a card. So, pretty good. I'd say it's pretty good. Being able to draw a card is helpful. In most situations, you want to be able to draw cards. So it looks like we kind of got through the beef of this deck, right? And it looks like this has a pretty thick mana. If the rest of these are lands and mana, because we're gonna go through these non-basic lands, is what these are called, and then we'll probably have a chunk down here that's this big of basic lands. And this is what's known as a mana curve, and you can manipulate this a little bit. That's why I'm separating these cards out. I went through, sleeved pretty much all of them. They're all earning sleeves right now. And then my next phase, which this video is already getting to be about an hour, so I might try to like ramble less, but I don't know, it's kind of fun to ramble about these cards, and you guys get to hear my voice and get to know my quirky personality type of person I am, right? It's kind of the point of doing this stuff. Anyway, here we got Canopy Vista. This land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. So like you would want to cast this guy out on turn 3 if possible. If not, if you just have a bunch of non-basic lands, you just kind of like take it, you take the hit and put it in play tapped so you can get mana out. But being able to have one land have multiple sources of different colored mana is pretty good, right? It's a good card. Getting a sleeve, going in the mana pool. We got Cinder Glade. This is the red and green version of that same thing. So, getting the sleeve, going in the mana pool. We're gonna hang out right here with the red and white. This land enters tapped unless you control a mountain or plains. So it's to not make it like so OP, but as you'll notice, it's still a rare type of land. Exotic Orchard. Add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. So good. It's like doubles your. Add 1 mana of any color that. Oh, this is like copy land, right? Your opponent, any land an opponent controls could produce. There's reasons why you would want to be able to use mana that you would otherwise normally be able to use. Like for instance, sometimes you can like steal somebody's card, and if you don't have the mana to activate the ability, or like cast a spell or something, you can't do it. So it's just like, yeah, you stole their card or whatever, but you can't actually get any use out of it other than them just not having it. But something like this allows you the utility to cast their spells if you're able to. I haven't really seen that in this deck, but that would just be, you know, you can use that as like colorless mana, whatever theirs is. Like if it's blue or black, we're not gonna be able to really use it for anything other than the colorless, right? So Fire Lit Thicket. So it allows you to convert. This is a colorless land, but it allows you to convert. It allows you to convert 1 red or green into 2 red or green, or a red and a green. So it's kind of cool. It's a land that allows you to double 1 mana. Which is like, I don't know if I really think that's that great, because it's like, you know, I'm casting 2 mana to get 2 mana. So is it really that great? I don't know about that. It's like a fake. Like, why is it rare? It's a fake out. All right. As this land enters, you may reveal a forest or plains card from your hand. If you don't, this land enters tapped. All right, you gotta reveal your hand a little bit. Let them know that you have another land in your hand, which you don't really want to do all that much, because you don't want to give out information like that if you can help it. But sometimes it's not that big a deal. But against certain players, it is, because they know you have, oh, he's got that land in his hand. That's what they're looking. They're watching your where it is in your hand and everything. Like, some people are crazy with this game, dude. It's like a lot goes into it. Anyway, as this land enters, you may reveal a mountain or plains card from your hand. If you don't, this land enters tapped. Same thing, right? Rare. Sometimes these types of things will phase out for me into other types of things. But these are just cool because they're Final Fantasy 7 themed lands. You know what I mean? They might just have to just stay just for that reason. Anyway. We got the red and the green color on this guy. Same thing, but it's red and green. Right, reveal Mossfire Valley. This one is another same type of thing, right? But actually, this one's cool to me because you can convert one of those colorless lands that we just looked at into a red and a green. So a little more utility, I'd say. I like these ones more than the ones that make you reveal your hand. Final Fantasy with your lands, bro. Here's one of these goofy colorless lands. Scavenger Grounds, sacrifice a desert, exile all graveyards. What? That's cool to have in your deck, to be honest with you. Sometimes people play from their graveyard. You do want to have something that allows this ability in your deck is like critical. You need to have this ace in the hole type of thing. I mean, when you need it, you're not always going to get it because it's like 1 out of 100 chance, right, to draw any card into your hand. But if if somebody's like kicking your butt from their graveyard, or they're basically like milling all their cards into their graveyard and then playing from it and stuff, like there's decks that do that. So like if you have this, you can just stop those kind of guys in their tracks. Like you go, oh, all your stuff is in your graveyard, and you're using your graveyard as your library, basically, necromancer. All right, exile. And they go, oh, that's not fair. Player's Stronghold, right? Add colorless. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains vigilance and haste until end of turn. It's kind of cool. This one actually gives your creature a little boof. What the heck did I just say? A buff, dude. What the heck did I just say, bro? Get me out of here. Freaking penalty box, bro. Spire of Industry. Look, add 1 colorless mana. Okay, pay 1 life. Add 1 mana of any color. Activate only if you control an artifact. Yeah, we have artifacts, right? A lot of them. Let's go into sleep for now. It's like all artifacts and lands, right? And just Tifa and Aerith and Sephiroth and Barrett. Yeah. It's a land. Moving on. What else we got? Sun Petal Grove. Okay. Sunscorched Divide. See what I think is? I bet all these are like, you know, actual places. These are actual places from the game. Which is just like so cool that like, you know, company like Wizards of the Coast had their nerds like nerd out on Final Fantasy and get all the lore and just like get some artworks together. Oh, we're going back into Zach Fair. All right, here we're getting into the okay, I like this card. Matter of fact, damn, it's not accessible. I have a borderless shiny version of him too that I pulled. I'll find it later. So he enters with a 1/1 counter on it for 1 white mana, bro. And he's a soldier, okay? So you got to take these things into consideration: how much mana you're paying and what you're getting for that 1 mana. So, and he has this ability, right, to sacrifice himself. Target creature you control gains indestructible to end of turn. Put his counters on that creature and attach an equipment that was attached to Zach to that creature. So he sacrifices himself, right? Freaking so romantic. Love this card. Really do. He's only an uncommon, right? But he's getting a sleeve. Here we have another version of Barrett. Oh my goodness. I need to eat my shrimp. Reach. Whenever Barrett Wallace attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of equipped creatures you control to defending player. I like that he has reach. That does make him more attractive to me. Like I said, I always usually rolled around with like Tifa and Aerith or Red 13th or Sid. I like those characters a lot more. With Cloud, of course, he was always in the party. He's like the party leader, in my opinion. But moving on, Barrett, sorry, bro. You're gonna be over here. You're not getting a sleeve. Dispatch. Tap target creature, Metalcraft. If you control 3 or more artifacts, exile that creature. Alright, for 1 mana, not bad. Really not bad at all. It could either be like a stun type of move, or, you know, if you get your artifacts out, it could really actually be quite powerful for one mana. The stipulation on it. You know what? It's a good spell. And these spells are gonna go right here in a different pile. Actually, I should have been separating my stuff, but I didn't think. I'm not thinking. Tired. Anyway, you and target opponent each draw 3 cards. I do not like cards like this. No way. Secret Rendezvous. Okay, I think I'm just go ahead and say it. Okay, Tifa and Cloud going on a date. Cloud's super awkward about it. He always is with these girls that love him. We're just not gonna put that. I love it. It's a cute card and whatever, but it's not going in my deck. I hate giving my opponents cards. Never do that. It's such a stupid idea. Why would you do that? Anyway. Furious Rise. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until you exile another card with this enchantment. I don't know. If you control a creature of power 4 or greater, exile a card of your library. Top card of your library, you may play that card until you exile another card with this enchantment. I don't know. I'm gonna say it's gonna hang out in the not earning a sleeve pile. All right, Vandal Blast. Destroy target artifact you don't control. Oh, gotta love it. For 1 mana, that's freaking great. To be able to destroy an artifact. Look, Overload. 5 mana, you may cast a spell for its overload cost. If you do, change target in its text to each. Come on, bro. Sleeving it up. I'm the only one that can have artifacts. Cultivate. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Reveal those. Put 1 on the battlefield tapped, another in your hand. Shuffle. Good card. Green magic. I think this is a like reprinted for Final Fantasy green magic cultivate with Final Fantasy 7 art. I think that's what's going on here. I'm quite sure that this is a card, and it's cultivate, so you wouldn't be able to use like the other art just because it's different looking card. Doesn't matter. It's the English version of the name, which is the limiting factor. It's kind of a I don't know, it doesn't really look like Aerith, right? It looks kind of like Tifa face on Aerith body. Anyway, moving on. I love cards like that. Going in the spells pile. Okay, Harmonize. Look how much different she looks right there. Come on, bro. I love her though. She seems so innocent. Draw 3 cards. See, I want to be the one that draws the cards. For 4 mana, that's a lot, but it is good to draw cards. Not ever let opponent draw cards. Alright, search your library for a forest card, put that on the battlefield, then shuffle. Nature's Lore. For 2 mana, see, this kind of makes your deck require less overall mana to have in it, in my opinion, right? So if you have a card like this, you can actually subtract 1 forest from this original mana curve for every 1 card you have like this. This is just my deck building tips, because there's like, you know, there's more cards that have a synergy with this deck than just the ones that come with it. That's what's fun about building a deck, right? To unbox it, you get to look at all this stuff. It's playable, right? But you're gonna have weaker cards that you can have in your hand, and your opponent's been building decks for, you know, 30 years because they're all fart and they're rich or whatever, and they have no life, and they have this $10,000 deck. They're just gonna destroy you no matter what you do. Search your library for basic land, put that on the battlefield tapped and shuffled. This is a super green mechanic. It's one of the benefits of having green splashed into your deck even. Behemoth Sledge. It's one of Cloud's early weapons, right? Equipped creature gets +2/+2, has trample and lifelink. That's pretty good for 3 mana, but also 3 to equip it. Unless you have that weird card that equips everything to it every time it attacks. Arcane Signet. I like this card. I have a foil version of this too. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. It's only 1 mana. There's usually we'll see if it actually comes in here. There's like a soul ring, it's called, that is like super OP card that's usually one of in every commander deck. But this is similar to it, but it only allows you 1 mana. Anyway, I think the soul ring only allows you colorless mana, but it's 2. But it is an artifact, right? So is this Colossus Hammer. Equipped creature gets +10/+10 and loses flying. Alright, 1 mana. Oh my god. Equip 8. 8 attached to target creature you control. Equip only as a sorcery. Sorry to keep you waiting, it's me, I'll handle the rest. This card's ridiculous, man. Come on, bro. It only costs 1 to put out on the field, and then they have a, I like it. It's hanging out. I've never seen this card. I ripped through 2 boxes and like 4 bundles, 5 bundles, because I got this, and I got 2, what are they called, pre-release packs. And I've never seen this. It's an uncommon. I haven't even seen it 1 time. Crazy, dude. It's like gambling, I swear, bro. Explorer's Scope. Whenever equipped creature attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. Well, I'm gonna say something like this is really good, but it falls off late game. But it is really good to have, and you know, it is an artifact, right? It is an artifact till we find something better. Hero's Blade. This is like freaking discount Buster Sword or what? Whenever a legendary creature you control enters, you may attach this equipment to it. Alright. Attach the target creature you control, equip only as a sorcery. Otherwise, it's quite expensive to equip. I think when it says that, you may attach this equipment to it, it's free to do. So you don't have to pay to do it. So this is actually pretty darn good. Discount Buster Sword. But it is a Buster Sword, right? It's called Hero's Blade, but it's Cloud holding the Buster Sword. But it's not the there's a Buster Sword card. Anyway, we'll get into that later. Hero's Heirloom. It's a red 13th thing. As long as the creature is legendary, it has trample and haste. Kind of cheap. 2 mana for a good little buff. Lightning Greaves, this is what I was talking about. Equipped creature has haste and shroud. It can't be the target of spells or abilities. Lightning Greaves, gotta step it up. Tifa Lockhart is cool. It's the Final Fantasy version of Lightning Greaves. I wonder if we're gonna get the Final Fantasy version of Soul Ring. We shall see. Mask of Memory. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw 2 cards. If you do, discard a card. I don't know. See, I don't know about things like this. Having to discard cards is, I don't like doing it. I like casting them and using them, you know? Discarding them is a waste. So what's going over there? No sleep for you. Skull Clamp, that's Genova. Getting the Skull Clamp. Oh, bro, the Skull Clamp. Oh, bro. Equipped creature gets +1/-1. Whenever equipped creature dies, draw 2 cards. Equip 1, attach. Oh my god, it's a Final Fantasy Skull Clamp? What? Oh, this card, dude, this card is freaking. Bro, this card can be. So as you can see, look, whenever equipped creature dies, draw 2 cards. Equip 1. There's ways where something like this could get out of hand, because you can like basically like those soldiers that we could spawn with that other card. You can equip this to get 2 cards, and it kills it, you know, obviously, but it's a 1/1 token. It's like they're meant to die like that as fodder for spells like this or combat defenses. So Skull Clamp, welcome to the team. It's cool to see Final Fantasy Skull Clamp featuring Genova. Well done. Here's the soul ring. This is what I was talking about, dude. Look, 1 mana, add 2 mana. Come on, bro. Turn 1 soul ring. Get out of here, bro. Come on, bro. Nah, dude. It's not even really a ring. Is that like the moon or something? Naturally formed materia, and look at the size of it. Astounding. For the Mako energy to condense it to something like this, it must have taken an eternity. The soul ring is just a big materia, huh? Alright. Trailblazer boots. It can't be blocked if the defending player controls a non-basic land. Non-basic land walk. Figures there would be something like that. I've actually never seen it, but Trailblazer boots. Going to sleep for now. It's kind of cool to have that, I guess. I like land cycling cards actually a lot. Because, you know, it's a land. And if you're desperate, it's early game, honestly, you're gonna play this, right? But if you already have other mana and you're desperate for like a forest or something, like you have a bunch of green cards and you need that forest, then this is super versatile to have these land cycling types of cards. Ash Barrens. Going in the deck. Search your library for a basic land card. It's nice to be able to pick which mana you need, you know? Jungle Shrine. Look, it enters tap, but it adds any one of the 3 mana that you're gonna need. Enters tapped, adds 1 mana of color to your color. Yeah. When mana spent to cast a creature that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1. That's kind of cool. That's actually kind of cool for a common land to do that. Radiant Grove. Look. That makes me, I could be a great politician, right? Look. Look. Land. Look. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, this video is coming to an end, you guys. We're gonna go through the rest of this really quickly because I'm getting like stupid. Because the rest of these I think are just gonna be lands, a couple more non-basic lands, right? And then yeah, here we go. That's the end. And we have our mana curve. This is what I call the mana curve. Okay, here's a token. Here's so here's a foretell. That's cool to have a foretell token. So here's some soldier tokens that we're getting. That's cool to have a bunch of these to use instead of the little dumb cardboard fucking things. I like using these. All right. So this right here, this is the pre-built mana curve, right? This is what's known as, all these types of cards are non-basic lands. These are basic lands. Now this is a very, very, very small mana curve. And the reason it is so small is because of the fact that we have 3 colors and there's a lot of non-basic lands that allow us to search for one of these basic lands, which there aren't very many of them. So, you know, we have 1, 2, 3. we have literally just 3 mountains. 1, 2, 3 forests. 1, 2, 3 plains. So the way they engineered the non-basic lands to allow you to operate with a deck with 3 of each basic land is baffling. I'd have to like spread the stuff out, study it a lot more, talk about it with you guys out loud. Because I've actually, this is a very, very low mana curve. This is a basic mana curve right here, right? We have 9 basic lands in this entire deck. That's insane. It's limiting, right? Because you need to have, well, you know what? You don't actually need to have the basic lands, but some of the triggers operate off of basic lands. So, you know, you only have 9 triggers for a basic land trigger. So I'd have to go through and look at that tag with the other things. Anyway, you made it this far in the video. It's been an hour and a half almost. If you have, I appreciate you so much for sticking it through. You're one of the true ones. And as a reward, we're gonna go ahead and open this little booster. It's a collector's booster, so we're probably gonna get something really nice out of this, whatever it is. Let's find out what it is. Oh, I'm weak. Tell you. That's not. There's more where that came from. Oh, are you kidding me, bro? Yuna? Oh, bro. Give me that Yuna, bro. Oh. I love her. Yuna Grand Summoner. Oh, I love Yuna, bro. Grand Summon. Add 1 mana of any color within the name. Borderless. Oh my god. Look at how beautiful she is. Get out of here, bro. Waka. Alright. We got the you know, bro, but come on. Oh, bro, look how pretty it is, man. She's shiny too. Oh my god, dude, it's mythic from this collector pack. It actually might be worth some money, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's the surge foil. I don't know what I'm looking at for surge foils. That's what people get freaking cracked for these surge foil cards. I might have just got one. I don't think I did. I think it's just the borderless foil. There's all kinds of different cards now. It's like, you know, if I wasn't such a fan, like, I almost feel bad for like feeding into this because it's like such a scam, right? They have this version of Yuna and they have the same card, but it's a surge foil and it'll be worth like $600 or something absolutely ridiculous. And then you have this card that's a foil with a black border. Nobody wants it, so it'll only be worth like $10 or $5 or even $3 or whatever, right? Whenever another permanent you control is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, add 1 or more counters on it, you may put that number of counters on target creature. I don't care, because Yuna's freaking, I loved Yuna, Final Fantasy X. I want to play Final Fantasy X now. But, you know, I got 2 rares out of that small pack. I will say that's pretty lucky. We got a foil, and we got Mr. Waka here. This is full art Waka. No, it's not. Is it the full art? It's not. It's not full art, but it's borderless. So I got 2 borderless, and they're from Final Fantasy X, both of these guys, which I think is cool. And that concludes the video today. If you made it this far, like my video, would you please? Get like, you know, 2 likes on my stuff. Come on now, help me out, help a brother out, subscribe, like, and maybe I'll make another video one day. And with that, I'm out. Appreciate you.